Chapter 1 Alessandro Serenelli 1. The Vatican man, a priest whose name was Doherty, wanted to know the details of the murder Alessandro had committed, the killing of the child, the saint. When Doherty arrived for his first visit, he and the penitent sat together on a stone bench in the monastery garden where Alessandro was working. The priest asked his questions, and Alessandro replied easily, since he had answered these or similar questions before in testimony given over the years. The priest had an accent, English or American, Alessandro thought, and spoke rapidly, as if he wanted to finish and be somewhere else. He did not appear the next day, and on the day after that, the second visit, stayed only 10 or 15 minutes. They were in the superior's office that time, the old bishop, Father Zecca, having left his room to them. And it was then, on the occasion of the second visit, just before leaving, that the priest, the canon lawyer, raised the question of memory. "It's in the record," Alessandro replied. "Maria Goretti was herself the witness. She described it all to the doctor and the attending priest before she died, and it went into evidence. I have no memory of it." "Perhaps you didn't do it." Alessandro said, "Certainly I did it." In the years since, none of the other interrogators had asked him the question. If they had, he would have told them what he told this priest, that the details of the event were lost to him, though it was not true. Because of the new leaves and shoots, the rain showers that raised a smell of leaf mold and earth, the restlessness of the creatures nesting, the redeemed murderer knew it was late May. He also knew the war had ended. The Germans and their guns were gone. The English and Americans were ordering things both here and elsewhere in Italy. Though he did not look at newspapers, people who did told him that this was the case, and also that he need not trouble himself about it one way or the other. He had been summoned to Rome and had come at once, a full day's trip, during which he did not speak to the other passengers on the bus. He slept a little and watched the farms they passed with a critical eye as to the manner in which they were kept. The friars at Ascoli Piceno had supplied him with a lunch of bread, cheese, salami, and fennel, but he gave it to a mother and her boy who had turned away from the sight and smell of the food with the courtesy of the hungry. He kept back only a flask of water. The bus arrived in Rome before dark, and Alessandro found his way to the Franciscan monastery where he was to stay by asking directions of a priest he met in the street. He had been at the cloister for a week before the man from the Vatican made his appearance. Except as shadows of ordinary anxieties, little more than impressions forgotten on waking, he had not had dreams with recognizable people in them for 35 years. Not since the dreams in his cell at the prison in Noto had been crowned by the opening of his soul, the vision that led to the miracle of his redemption. Now, with this official and his questions, as if the projectionist had mended a tear and the interrupted film might continue, he had begun to dream once more in images. The first of these new dreams was vivid and remained with him. It was early morning, not yet hot. He was waiting with the rest of the family in the threshing barn, preparing to go out to the fields. His father, the last one as always, looked in at the door, the lean, lined, brown face bright with pleasure. "Alessandro, well done," he cried, though he did not say what his son had done well. He heard his own voice.